Okay, it's time for another update. I'll probably do some more tonight, but I wanted to get this out of the way. I have attached all of the walls, not permanently because I'm going to have to take this one off for a window. You can see I sketched out there. I went ahead and ordered two 14 by 16 inch windows, 14 inches wide, 16 inches tall. One I'm going to install there, the other one I'm going to install here. The reason I'm doing it here and there, this will give me good cross flow ventilation when the bed is down, and this one will give me light whether the bed is down or up, and also good cross flow ventilation. I'm waiting to buy a window for over here. The plan is to wait until I can find like a 30 inch or a 40 inch wide window and do a big window there. The reason I want to do a bigger window on this side is because with this door frame and that door frame, this is the most sturdy wall of the two of them, so I don't have a problem with cutting out some verticals and putting in cross members to support that. I have installed I installed the electrical for the lights. Previously I just had the wires hanging down from the top, but I've run them to the switches and we are all set with electrical. I also wired the 120 from the inverter up and around and down to this switch, and then up and around and down to this switch, so everything runs off of the inverter now. I don't have to have shore power for anything with the solar on the roof. I also installed these flip down hinges for a table, which will be, this is not going to be the final table, but throw something on there, some heft, there we go. So this will be the table that I described in the mock-up. Probably want to go something a little bit longer and a little bit shallower, so maybe here to just beside this outlet. I did not install the cigarette lighter or USB outlets because they're too deep to fit behind the 1 inch wall. They are considerably deeper than a 1 inch wall, so it's a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood, and you can see that they go well beyond that. So I'm gonna have to figure out some other way to install those. Maybe I'll install them on the tabletop and then have a cutout underneath so that they would appear like here. The only reason I need them is for plugging in the laptop to charge it. I can't charge the laptop on the 120 because I have a modified sine wave inverter, and I don't think I'm going to spend the $500 or $600 to upgrade that for the few times that I need to run a pure sine wave inverter. So I'll find a way to get a plug somewhere over here that I can use to charge the laptop. Worst case scenario, I can put it on the back of the kitchen, which will be here. There'll be plenty of room, up in this corner of the kitchen counter area. Over here, I have the beginnings of the toy box, if you will, and it is 24 inches deep and 30 something inches tall, 34 inches tall, I think. Let me see. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference really, but yeah, 33 and a half. It's not permanently affixed to the floor or to the walls yet because I'm waiting for the windows, which will be here Monday. I also had to change around the way that I'm configuring the bikes because well, I ordered a 7-foot wide trailer. I got an 80 inch wide trailer, so I've been robbed of 4 inches. Not the end of the world though. I think this configuration will work well. It's like I said before, that I will only ever have the 3 bikes, and most of the time it would probably be just 2 of the 3, a road bike and a mountain bike, unless I'm traveling in the winter, and then I'd take the Fat Tire bike. I was concerned about the seat height on the Fat Tire bike getting in the way of the bed, but if that's an issue, I'll order a cheap dropper post, like I have on the mountain bike. For those of you who are not familiar with the dropper post, there is a switch here on the handlebar, and when I push that switch, the seat goes ta-da, and when I'm sitting on it and push the switch, the seat will go down. But you gotta have weight and push the button at the same time, and I can't do that with one hand holding the camera, but you get the idea. My plan is to build boxes around the springs up here, so I didn't have a problem with cutting out for the ceiling there, and I don't need any kind of wood across that. I am waiting to put the screen in over here until I figure out what I'm doing with the wall treatment. I think I'm going to just paint. I've found some good information on finish painting one side sanded plywood. Shouldn't be a problem. I need to figure out if I can fill these holes from the old way these boards were configured. I need to figure out if I can fill them with wood putty or something like that, and whether or not they'll hold with the bouncing around that the trailer does. If you remember from the last video, there was some waviness in the ceiling bits, and the only one I have now is right there, and then as you saw in the back here, this needs to go up a little bit, and I think I can fix that with either some two-sided tape or just run a trim piece there and then nail it or screw it in together there. Not sure how I'm going to handle the seams on the walls. This one will eventually be mostly covered by a window, which will run there to there, and over here that one will be hidden by the bed, so I'll only have to worry about this one and that one, and then that one, that one, and that one will all be covered by a trim piece to transition from the side wall to the front wall. So I'll run a piece of trim like that. I think that's going to be it for now. It's Wednesday. I might start working on either the hinges or the door frames for the toy box, or I might start working on the kitchen. I've decided to go with shaker style doors. What I haven't decided is whether I want 2 doors, like so a split down the middle, or whether I want one big door. I'm thinking 2 smaller doors because with the bikes in here, if there was one big door here, I wouldn't be able to open it all the way, but if there's 2 smaller doors, I can open them and get the wheels out and whatever else I need. This cabinet is huge. I was really happy with the way this came out. And to go back to the bike configuration, I could cut this down from 24 inches down to like 18 inches deep, and that would solve my bike configuration problem. I could then run them that way again, and I might do that, but I don't have to make that decision today. And like I said, I'm really happy with this big box for kites and etc. And I think the wheels fit under there, but I don't think that's where they'll stay when I'm traveling. They'll probably just go in the bed of the truck or in the back of the truck. But I could put a wall here and a wall here separating these, and then I could fit all 4 or 5 kites in one bay, and then have this other bay for drawers or little cubbies that I could pull out. 24 inches is a lot of space to use up though, and I think I'm liking this the way it is. Don't want to cut it down to 18 inches or 19 inches. I'm going to sleep on that one. The only difference there then would be if I cut this, if I don't cut this down, then I'll need to run the higher quality flooring back a little bit further, because you're likely to put a wet bike in, and I don't want wet bike dripping on a traditional laminate floor, whereas it could drip all over the luxury floor that's waterproof and expansion proof. I think that's it. All right, I'll see you again soon.